Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host, Tristan Walter, who is unable to get in because of some errors in the system right now, trying to get him on the air. Very upset. I'm sure he called in on time, so he's fine. But currently I'm having some problems getting through to Blog Talk Radio, so that's great. This is live radio for you. I love it. I love it so much. So fucking much. So anyway, today we're talking about Dragon Ball Super episodes 7 through 14, and it's been a while. I mean, it really has. You know, Tristan has been in Africa, and because of that, we haven't really been able to keep up with Super. But he came back, and you know, he's been watching it, and it was really funny because it was very hard getting him into the swing of things again to try and watch Super. And it was interesting because, you know, I had watched it for, you know, I had been caught up for a while. So it was just me sitting around going, hey, Tristan, hey, you should watch Super. We kind of need to do this thing. And so that was fun, kind of just poking and prodding him until he showed signs of life. And here we are with Tristan not on the air, with me sitting here wondering, dear God, what am I going to do until I get him on the air? And me stalling for time, which reminds me, I was born in a log cabin. The year, irrelevant. The point is I was born in a log cabin, and I used that knowledge to start a podcast many, many years ago. And what matters is that the story has no point. I literally have no way to get Tristan on the air. I'm infuriated because what the fuck? And this is my life right now. You know what's funny? Murphy's Law. You ever heard of Murphy's Law, fans? Murphy's Law is that when something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And that's where I am right now. This idea that I just can't get through to the system no matter what I do, which means I can't put Tristan on the air. He doesn't have the info to get himself on the air. So right now we're stuck in this loop where I assume he's hearing this. So it's horrible because he can hear it, but he can't do anything about it. So right now we're stuck in essentially the ninth circle of hell because there's literally no way to get him through. So that's fun. The point is that I think this is actually a great metaphor for Dragon Ball Super, because, or at least great symbolism, because there's just no way for me to talk kindly, I think, about this. I mean, we can talk about certain episodes and how they were okay, but the actual, I don't know, just the rehash of Battle of Gods, I was not a fan. And I think Tristan will agree, just the way it was strung out for so many episodes, it was not enjoyable, I think. You know, it was fun at first, you know, us actually watching it and going, okay, yeah, this is, you know, Battle of Gods and everything's fun, but just the way they took about, I'm pretty sure it was 11 episodes to really string out Battle of Gods. It was not fun. It was just, you know, it was really long, drawn out, and not a big fan of it. But, so you know, here we are, still unable to get Tristan in. But you know what I like? I like roses. Roses are nice. Roses are one of the coolest plants. I have no idea where this is going. Planet Plant. Wasn't that a fun planet in Dragon Ball? Planet Plant. I can't fathom the fact that this is happening right now. There's literally no way to get into the studio. So as the host, I can get myself in just fine. But Tristan can't. And he's just kind of sitting there in the waiting room going, Matt, can you get me in, Matt? And I can't get him in. So this is a lot of fun. This is a dumpster fire. And frankly, I'm happy to be a part of it. But this is live on the air, and I have no idea how to fix this because there's really no way how to fix this. For some reason, I don't think it's an internet problem because I can get through everything else just fine, but I cannot load Blog Talk Radio right now. I don't know if something's wrong with their servers right now. In New York, I know that there's, heavy winds. There's been a lot of rain, possible talk of snow. So I don't know if that, for some reason, is causing some kind of issue, but I can't get in right now. I'm logged in. You all can hear me. We're recording the podcast for later on this week, but I can't get Tristan in. So that is horrifying. This whole ordeal is clearly horrifying, and all of you are able to see it unfold for us right now. So I hope you're happy. I hope this is entertaining. I hope many of you are laughing. I hope there isn't as much cringing, because it's hard for me to deal with, when I see characters on TV shows cringing. However, I'm not a character right now. This is terrible. Not a character. This is completely horrifying. And frankly, I'm starting to dislike being a part of this. But it's okay, because this is the process. This is what it is, right? It's just Matt losing his shit and breaking down on the radio. It's fine. All right? It is what it is. The point is that, speaking of Dragon Ball Super, I actually did like some of the episodes. I really did. It might seem like we dislike it overall so far, but we don't. Dragon Ball Super has actually been a fun experience, and it has reminded us, like, hey, this is what Dragon Ball Z was all about, the spirit of the anime, at least, Dragon Ball Z anime, just having people power up and taking forever to get to plot. This is what the spirit of the anime was really about. It's just that, when... as much as we dislike GT and, talk about it negatively, at the very least, GT did go out and try and make new plots, right? Despite the fact that, we didn't enjoy a lot of the plots, and we thought they were a little bit slow in terms of pacing, it still happened. It was still a thing. And the fact that they actually, in Super have taken so long just to adapt things that we've already seen. I don't know. I mean, it was, hasn't really been the best. But again, I can talk about, let's say, episode 7 and go, oh, I liked episode 7. Because, today we're talking about episode 7 through 14. I can say, oh, I liked episode 7. But, I can't say that about every single episode, because many of them just felt like, like they were just wasting time. We were just killing time until we got to things that mattered. And, kind of sitting back and thinking that, with that mindset, it really just had me kind of sitting there looking at the clock going, can we get to some real stuff, quote unquote, something different, something new. Even though they did add some stuff in their retelling of Battle of Gods, it was still just a retelling, and I think many of us, growing up in the U.S., seeing Dragon Ball Z on a daily basis, I think we could handle Super if it was given to us on a daily basis. I'm not speaking for everyone in the U.S., but I do think that when you grow up with Dragon Ball Z on a daily basis compared to a weekly basis, it's a bit easier to digest. But having this given to me on a weekly basis, not as if I don't watch other anime, that will try and, really keep me waiting week to week for new content. But I think maybe it's because of the nostalgia thing, it's a Dragon Ball thing. But after getting Dragon Ball Z on a daily basis and just having to, other than those gaps that it would take for, Funimation or Ocean Dub to dub more, but still, even with that gap, still getting daily Dragon Ball Z was fun. And, it kind of combated the idea of just tune in next time, and then next time is just 20 minutes of powering up. Tune in next time. Okay, I'll wait again. Versus having to wait weekly for this anime. And each and every time it's just, okay, I saw the movie, 2 years ago. Okay, I saw the movie. Can we move on? I saw the movie. So I'm still trying to get Tristan in. This is, as I said earlier, an ordeal. And I'm flabbergasted. I just cannot believe this is a thing right now. It's been, It's been 10 minutes that I've been on the air. I think I've done well. I've broken down several times. Internally, I'm screaming. Internally, I'm crying. If anyone, if you're a fan of Scrubs, or in general, if you've seen that, the meme of just the JD, the internally screaming, that's me right now. Like, I cannot believe this is the thing right now. It's 2016, guys. What are we doing? Why is this a thing right now? But it's okay. You know what? It's okay. It happens, right? These things happen. And we will somehow power through. Oh, here we are. I'm in the system. It happened. And Tristan's on the air. Hello, Tristan.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. Have you heard me for the last 10 minutes crying into a pillow?
Yes, I was trying to console you, but not even with my burning will and soul of a sane God could I get through to you.
No. It just, I don't understand. Yeah, now I'm in just fine. This is fucking
The evil
horrifying.
that Blog Talk was just too strong. I tried, I really did.
I don't know. You know what's sad? I really don't know what it is because I gave you the lock-in info just in case you can try and get in, but it didn't matter because I got in.
Did. Oh,
you just got in? That's terrible. No, yeah, you got in at the same time. Everything started working again. So I think maybe you did help it in a way. But,
now we fuse, right?
Yeah, I think that's how it works, right? We just fuse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really frustrated, man, because, again, over the last 10 minutes, this isn't like a ploy. This isn't like, oh, those guys trying to, get in new view. No, it's just fucking horrifying. Sitting there, refreshing the page, sometimes getting into the studio, because there's a studio layout for us to, click people in and out, not being able to get you in because it's not loading, right? But when it does load, it was loading blank, so you couldn't see me and you couldn't see you. And then sometimes it just wasn't even loading. So I could get to the main page, the main website, but I couldn't get into the studio. Right. And I couldn't do it with any of the devices that I have. Mind you, we're in 2016. I have several different ways of getting in, but I can't. And I actually had to charge up an older iPhone just to try and get into the Internet because laptop isn't doing it, other phones aren't doing it. It is insane how it's just we have so much technology, but I had no way to log into a simple web page.
It's okay, Matt. You've at least got 3 more knockdowns before your power level runs out.
I'm just so frustrated right now. You have no idea. What?
I know you could take on the God of Destruction with your bare hands.
Okay, so Tristan, you were hearing everything. I don't think you disagree, right? We've seen this before. We've seen this as Battle of Gods.
Yeah.
Right? So having it given to us again in about 11 episodes, just about. About 11, I think, or at least 10 episodes. It was a little frustrating. You did like it because you did get that Dragon Ball Z vibe from it, the spirit of Dragon Ball Z. But
yeah, when they finally started fighting, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, no, the power-ups too.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I was just glad to see them punching each other.
That's what you wanted.
Honestly, it had been so long. I'm like, well, you know what? At least they're punching each other. I'm going to be happy with that for now.
Yeah, pretty much. The comedy, I will admit, the comedy was a lot of fun, right? Just them, having certain scenes with Whis and stuff like that. It wasn't Vegeta. It was fun, but it was just, it went on and on and on. And I think that is the theme of just of this arc. It just went on and on and on. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, I kind of understand, from making the show, that kind of perspective, I understand why they dragged it out so long. So it would hopefully give them time for, future episodes to, get on that, to stall for time, basically. But, I mean, even though we've been lucky enough to be able to see it, it is still kind of a crawl, and it does kind of it eats away at you after a while.
Yeah, one thing I look at too is I hate that it feels like the one thing that I do see in relation to Dragon Ball GT is it feels like they're able to sit back and go, oh yeah, Dragon Ball has this huge appeal. It'll never die. And it's like, well, if it's not necessarily bad, but if it doesn't draw enough attention, I don't know how the ratings are doing in Japan. It could be doing very well. But if people think that it's just Dragon Ball rehashing movies, right, eventually people will stop watching, and then Dragon Ball Super will go the way of the GT.
Yeah.
Where GT, it didn't die in a day. It took a while, But at the same time, compared to the, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, GT was just a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And the same thing can happen to Super. And from the looks of it, we are having now in the future, we're currently having, we're not there yet, but we're having another rehash of Resurrection of F.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but as long as you guys are faster about it, which it does look like they're going to be faster about it, but as long as you're faster about it, please understand, be faster, because I definitely don't want to have to deal with another 10-episode arc of, a movie.
Yeah.
Granted,
I'd be okay if it was at least like 5, but if it goes for another 10, that's, no.
Yeah, especially, mind you, no. And I will admit, yes, after that they are caught up, so they have no other movies. They just don't.
Right?
But again, I would hate for them to play it too safe and then don't have the time to do anything after movies because everyone isn't watching anymore.
Right.
Which sounds crazy, but GT was not doing well, right? And I know, GT, different beast, different year, different era, but still, the idea is that, how much can you, yes, the Dragon Ball name is milkable. I mean, video games are still coming out for Dragon Ball. We still have, in America, Kai airing on television, right?
Yeah.
Kai is airing on television right now as of this podcast, and they're only up to Frieza. And in America, Funimation still has yet to dub the Majin Buu stuff for Kai. So we have a lot more Kai.
Right.
Right? We have a lot more. We have another, I think, about 3 years of Kai.
Yeah.
Now, we can have Super in the interim, of course, but I'm saying until we actually, finish Kai, we have another 3 years of Kai. Because they do, Funimation, not Funimation, Toonami, Adult Swim, they do it on a weekly basis. So we have a while until Kai's done.
Yeah.
So my point is that Dragon Ball is not going away, right? I'm sure I'm sure we have more movies in Japan coming out. So it's not as if Dragon Ball is going away, but the idea of Super, right? These movies were so popular that they thought, we can do a show based on Dragon Ball again because it's so popular. Dragon Ball hasn't gone away, and it's been long enough since we've done one. But I don't want this to be a flop either. I want this to go the distance, 100, 200 episodes.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I would be sad to see it, go away.
Yeah, go away and, in 60 episodes or under because they just kept on adapting movies.
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's weird, I guess. I mean, whether it's for, being able to throw something out there so they can make other episodes with actual new content, or whether they just wanted the anime to be the canon instead of the movies, I'm not sure.
Which, because we talked about that. There are differences in this adaptation of the movies, so you wonder which one is more canon. Because the movies have never been canon.
Yeah.
So you wonder which one is more canon, we were at Bulma's house, or we were on a cruise ship in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
When the gods attacked. So it's just, we don't know which one is more canon now. But what we do know is, dear God, we got 10 episodes of Battle of Gods.
Yeah.
But, and we, it's funny, again, I was saying this, and I don't know if you agree. I was saying the idea that, I thought you did though, when we were kids, right, having Dragon Ball Z given to us on a daily basis, 10 episodes would have been 2 weeks, because Monday through Friday. So it wouldn't have been bad as children, right?
Yeah,
but
definitely.
As adults, having to deal with, the obvious, the way anime is given to us, from Japan on a weekly basis, which in no way are we saying we should have daily anime, mind you. We're just saying that, with the way that it is on a weekly basis, it's really rough.
Yeah.
It's really, really rough. And in no way are we saying we should be catered to because we're Americans. No. But just, again, the way we dealt with it as kids, right? We would have those monthly blocks of not having anime, not having Dragon Ball Z because Funimation had to take the time to dub. But once they did get that time, it was just us there sitting on a daily basis getting Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
And, and it really worked out well because any of those, what's going to happen on the next episode? Well, we'd wait until tomorrow.
Right.
But, looking at the way it is now, it's just, oh no, will Goku and Beerus fight? Yes, they will. Yes, they fucking will.
Yes.
Yes. Like, even if the movie never happened, right? I know we might still have that feeling of course they're going to fight, but we wouldn't know how,
right,
when, in what way. So at least we'd have that going for us. But it's literally just like, will Goku become a Super Saiyan God? Yes, he fucking will. Yes, he fucking will.
Yeah.
Come on! Make him a god!
I mean, it's fun, like, once the fight actually started, I was able to, like, I don't know, at least move past that. I'm like, okay, like I said before, it's like they're punching each other. This is what I was waiting for, at least a little bit.
Right.
Throw me a bone here. It's like, if you at least give me them punching each other, even if it is drawn out a bit, all right, fine, I can live with it. I did find it interesting that they went with the idea that two gods fighting would actually rip apart the universe.
Yeah. I do think that there was some stuff that they added that was fun like that. The idea that I do like that. So it was really fun.
Yeah, it's funny because they always, within Dragon Ball Z, they always made jokes about, oh, they're going to destroy the entire planet. It's like, well, what if we beefed them up to gods? Yeah, so now the whole universe is is in trouble. Although, the after the few episodes where they clashed, 3 times, and the third one, it's like, oh God, this is it. And it didn't happen.
It was interesting.
Well, yeah, because apparently Lord Beerus has the power to nullify this energy. And okay, that's great. The Earth doesn't get exploded. That's good. Mm-hmm. But then they go back to fighting, but apparently the risk of blowing up the universe is not still there.
Yes, because it was nullified for a second. It was interesting. It was just weird ways they had to, like I said, stall for time. I mean, hell, the one thing I really didn't like, in my opinion, is the way they just dropped the Pilaf shit. Like, I'm not saying I wanted a huge amount of Pilaf shit, but when you had enough of it in the beginning, the way they just dropped it, I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you for wasting my time. Apparently, from what I hear, though, we're going to have some more Pilaf shenanigans in the future, so he's not gone forever from the anime. But, like in the movie, he was just gone. I don't know if he's in the Resurrection of F film, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting to actually watch it and podcast about it with you. But I haven't seen it yet. But, I'm just he was in Battle of Gods. He's actually funny in Battle of Gods. He was somewhat insufferable in this anime adaptation. Somewhat.
Mm.
And it's really hard.
I mean, honestly, I know you had talked about earlier, I think you had mentioned, not like this time, but like earlier on when we had last talked about Super, that
months ago.
Yeah, that you didn't want to see like Pilaf like scampering around the ship. Meanwhile, we've got two gods battling overhead.
Yeah.
But at this point, honestly, even if not a whole episode, that would have been a little much, but like maybe cut between here and there and have Pilaf trying to sneak back into the ship and find the Dragon Balls. Would have been kind of interesting. But
it would have. And the only reason why I wanted it, I think, is because the only reason why I would have wanted it is because we had enough time showing that he existed, showing what he wanted, showing that he's there, and then it was just dropped until episode 14, I believe. I'm sure it was somewhere done a little bit more in the middle, a little bit here and there, but it was pretty much dropped essentially. And then it was just, oh, so we're done now. And it was like, wait, are you fucking serious? Are you serious, Super? What's going on? So but overall, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it on an episode basis, but I think I actually liked more than half of them out of 17 to 14. I really did. But and I like the Dragon Ball humor. I think I like the music a lot. I did like some of the visuals, like the whole dragon stuff going on with Goku and Beerus in space. It was pretty cool. I just, hell, looking at some interesting stuff, the newscaster was the same newscaster from the Cell Saga.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there was, at least it looked like he was. So, it was a lot of cool stuff, although, of course there was some really stupid stuff as well. I mean, the idea of just like, oh, crap, we need to put in something for time. Oh, let's make everyone on the Capsule Corp ship forget how to fly. And that they have super strength.
Yeah, I think they're Gohan speak because Bulma says like, "Can't you guys fly?" And they're like, "Yeah, we kind of used up all our ki."
I guess Piccolo still could have sort of done something. Like his look, the destruction of Earth, and he's just looking around like, "I might deserve this." No, seriously, destruction of Earth, and Piccolo's face is just like, honestly, I've done some fucked up shit in my time. I think I might deserve this. Like, it was I don't know, it was a very strange situation for me. Yeah, they did use up all their ki. Thank you for that. But I don't think Piccolo did. Oh, by the way, another memorable moment I want to mention. Gotenks actually being involved, I think, was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Earlier on, when it was Gotenks Beerus. Yeah.
Pacifies him like a child.
Yes. That did happen, but to have them there, I think it made sense. There were some things in the episodes that I was like, wow, this makes sense, and I was happy that you were able to expand upon this because at least the version of the movie that we watched, the theatrical version, did not have Gotenks.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't, as far as I remember, say something like, oh no, these two powers are destroying the universe. I don't remember that with Goku and Beerus. I don't. So there were little things that I think were really cool. Unless, of course, again, the uncut version that I plan on podcasting with you as well after, because now we're up to 14, we can go on to some more of the movies that we haven't done, because we haven't done the uncut version. You and I did a theatrical cut. So I'm cool with jumping, back to the movies and seeing like, oh, wow, whoops, the uncut version does have this. But as far as we know from the theatrical, it did not have them talking about, oh, no, they're destroying the universe right now. It was kind of just, hey, they're gods. Let's keep this moving. Which, in a way, I'm cool with because, well, it makes sense in a way. As we saw, they immediately undercut it by having it be nullified. Right?
Right.
And the fact that, the reason why I loved episode 14, I have it written right here, I'm happy that it's fucking done. It got to that point, dude.
Yeah.
Where it was hype. I will admit, Dragon Ball Z did, Dragon Ball Super did hype me. I was hyped after a certain point when I was really, and I think you were too, like once you were in the swing of things.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, I want to watch the next one. I really do want to. But at first, getting you to just watch that, first episode 7 again, you were really sluggish. And it wasn't because of the fact that you were in like a bad, you were like, oh, I don't like Super anymore. I don't like Dragon Ball. No, you always loved Dragon Ball. You always, you were a fan of Super. But you knew, like, I'm going to have to get through this Battle of Gods thing, and it's going to last a while.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And it's hard because usually you think, we're in a culture right now that marathoning is the new rage, Netflix releasing episodes, of something, just a whole season at once, is looked at as a good thing, right? There's a binge watch. Binge watching is awesome. But still, the way Super was set up, you were just looking at it like, oh, God, this is a mountain. I have to climb this mountain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they got better as they went on in certain ways. But at the same time, it was just really time-consuming.
Yeah.
In terms of
funny, at a certain point, from, episode titles and stuff, I think one of them was going past, Son Goku, go past Super Saiyan God. I was like, wait a minute. They're not gonna... He's not gonna do... What?
And then they didn't. Because that would have been intriguing, but they didn't. What they did was, I think, if I'm correct, because it's been a little bit, they depowered him and then repowered him. right? Like, in other words, didn't he lose, like, his power? Like, oh, no, I'm not Super Saiyan God anymore. I'm so tired. But then it was like, no, I found my real Super Saiyan God power. Blah!
Yeah, I mean, there was one
That's
point,
what it was, right?
Beerus, he jabs him and he falls back to Earth and he's, he depowers. But then, of course it's Goku. Of course he's going to get back up again. And it was funny. The first one I was like, oh shit. And then it reawakens. And at first I was kind of like, really? But then I'm like, no, wait. That's how it's supposed to go. I'm like, wait, this is how things are supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, wait, no, this makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I remember what I'm watching now. Okay, all right, this is true to the course. And then they do it a second time too. If I remember correctly. But again, they both talk to each other like, oh, I'm not 100% yet. It's like, well, neither am I. And
yeah, right.
Going
it's
back
just,
and forth.
Well, hello. Wow, this really is Frieza stuff. Wow. Right? It just feels like Frieza, Frieza stuff. Just no, I'm not even.
Familiar a little bit.
Yeah. But okay.
I mean, they had some nice shootouts too, so that was nice.
One thing I want to mention is that as you noticed, because you texted me about it, the ending changed. The ending song changed. It sucked because I really enjoyed the first ending song. I have to rewatch the new one because it's been a while, but I really loved the new ending song, and I was not a big fan of the new one.
Right.
One thing I want to mention is, here's the thing, right? So, I don't know, the reason why I wasn't a big fan is because I think it was just the way it came out of nowhere. In my opinion, like, okay, it wasn't the end of the arc just yet.
Right.
So, and mind you, it's weird because it also makes me wonder, how long this anime is going to last. And I say that because of the fact that, last as in, will they consider, 26 episodes one season? Because here's why. Usually they wait after an arc is over, in my opinion, I would think, until you change your music. But when you do it after 13 episodes, in my opinion, what it says is, oh, we're changing the ending because in another 13 episodes, in episode 26, that's when the show will end, quote unquote. Season 1 will end. So I wonder what they plan on doing. I wonder if they, plan on keeping it going because I forgot where we are right now because, obviously we're not caught up. But I do wonder, are they going to change it again at episode 26? Like, what are they planning on doing with the ending songs? Because it takes a very long time in anime, especially long-running anime, for the opening song to change. But ending songs, I mean, they just change all the freaking time.
Right.
But it does make me wonder, what are you doing with the music here? Like, does that relate to how long the show will last, or am I just sitting here talking about nothing?
Yeah. I mean, it especially feels weird for Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z each had, I think Dragon Ball only had one opening and ending, and then Dragon Ball Z had two openings and two endings.
Yes, they had a few more, I believe. I mean, not like, I think I had more than two endings. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But and also, by the way, we are past episode 26, so that part was stupid. But the idea is, when will they change the ending again? Because, I do wonder, how many do they plan on? Because I know Bleach, if you remember, of course they've had many openings and many endings, but the point is that their endings outdid their openings. Where in 50 episodes, they might have two openings, maybe three in 50, but their endings were 5.
Yeah.
So, and it's a thing, I understand. It's not a new thing, because it sounds silly to be like, it's the newfangled, no, Grandpa, it's been happening for a while. You just don't watch a lot of anime. But I still feel weird about it, I think, because I was really loving this song, and it was really, I think in a way it was better than the opening song, the ending. So, and then they just abruptly changed it to something that, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's all right.
I mean, I think, we'll get used to it, and it'll be, good once we've heard it a few more times. But yeah, I would have enjoyed if maybe they had done it like at episode 14, because like you said, at least that would have been the end of a quote unquote arc.
Yes. But yeah, no, I mean, hey, look, we're at the end of our first arc. I mean, we had not filler. We had one-off episodes right before it. So, I mean, if you want to count the first 4 or the first 3 as an arc, you can, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, man, we're at 14 now. It's the end of the Battle of Gods rehash arc, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
So we're here. We did it.
Let's see. I did like how the fight kind of ended, because Goku's starting to tire and he's lost his god aura, but he still retains some of the power. And Beerus keeps telling him, all right, man, give it up. You lost. And he's like, no, don't tell me what to do. I'll lose when I'm damn good and ready. It's like, all right.
I mean, I'm losing, but I'll do it when I'm ready.
But I'll do it when I'm ready. I mean, that was cool of Goku. I mean, that's just who Goku is. The line that, just because you're a god doesn't mean you should determine other people's limits, I think, it was a nice touch. But at the end, when Beerus comes back down and they're all, Vegeta catching Goku as he falls, that was pretty nice too.
Yeah,
he just
Vegeta catching Goku. So here's the thing about Vegeta catching Goku. Oh, no, that's not what happened. My OTP canon, okay? Listen, okay? It's canon.
Okay.
It's canon. Vegeta and Goku are in love, and you can't fucking stop it.
Oh, God damn it.
They're in love. Fucking dare you.
Well, I just love Vegeta looks at him, he's just like, he goes to him, shut up. It's like, I gave you my power and you still lost? You've got no right to talk to me. It's like, oh.
No, but, no, I mean, it was interesting. I wonder why they did that. It was really fun. The way it was just like, I'm going to have him catch him. And it was just like, yep. All the fangirls are screaming right now.
Yeah. But
by the way, the
point
was really fun in episode 14. I want to mention.
Yeah.
The music has been fun for the whole show, but the orchestra in episode 14 really made everything seem grander than it should have because, again, we already fucking saw this.
Well, I mean,
so you know what I mean?
At least the music gave them the effort.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it made it seem really big and triumphant. And I think the only issue that I can think of with 14 is, one of them at least, was the animation being off when they were underwater.
Yeah, I did notice that too, although it wasn't as bad as the first time Goku and Beerus fought, at least. I know. But you know what's interesting? Everyone forgets, I was watching Kai, and Kai, of course, being it technically, of course, it's the, if anyone doesn't know, Kai is technically the same anime, right? It's Dragon Ball Z, but they've retouched it with HD, like here and there. They've retouched it here and there. And it's new voiceover work, not only from Japan, but from America as well. It's new voiceover work. That's why in America and in Japan, you'll have different voice actors voicing over certain characters, with other characters retaining. I mean, of course, the voice actress for Goku being the same, right? And many of her roles being Goku's family. Anyway, the point is that Gohan was powering up to fight Frieza because, everyone thought Goku was dead for a second, if you remember that episode. When Gohan powered up, it was done so horribly, the animation. The way it was even touched, and mind you, it was horrible too because it was touched up in HD. So they touched up something horrible. Right. And I want to show you the screen cap if I can ever find it because it was just horrifying. Yeah. And I sat there and I thought, it's not like this super stuff is new, And I think we said this last time we talked about it too. It's not like the super stuff. It's like, oh man, the animation. It's not like that's new. It's just people would think, I guess, in 2015, now 2016, it would be a little bit different. Yeah. But it's not. I guess that they, you'd be a little more conscious of that kind of thing. But anime cutting corners. Sometimes shit happens. I guess I don't know. Yeah. No, I mean anime cutting corners. It's a staple of anime. Well, producing anime, cutting those corners. But now, of course, with social media, it's a lot harder to
and DVR and everything, it's a lot harder for it to just go not unnoticed but unscreen capped.
Right.
So here's what I didn't like. Also, I think maybe I don't know if you noticed this. At least maybe I wasn't paying close attention. They didn't reveal that Weiss was stronger than Beerus.
No, they didn't.
Nor did they have that really fun scene. At least I found it fun. They did something a bit different, but I found it a lot more fun. Just, oh, you have to destroy the Earth. That's right. Destroy the piece of Earth. I guess I destroyed the Earth.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
It was really cute, and I think it was done so well. And I had really hoped that they had done something like that, where it's just like, he blows up the water a little bit. Oh, I destroyed the Earth, or he just destroys a piece of the ship. Well, that's part of the Earth, right?
Yeah, honestly, I thought that's what he had done. Like, because at the ending, he's like, a deal's a deal, and I'm a god, I have to keep my promises. And he shoots the blast, and I'm like, because it flew off into the sky past Bulma's ship, and I'm like, wait, did she have a globe like on top of the the big fire coming out of the ship? And I'm like, they're going to make the same joke. And I'm like, clever, because I don't, I wouldn't have remembered, like, oh, yeah, there was a thing up there. But no, he just pretends to fall asleep. I thought instead of making the sleeping joke, they were going to be like, Beerus just goes, oh, shoot, I missed. Look at that. Well.
Yeah, it was fun that he fell asleep. It was cute, I think. But it was cuter, I think, to have that pun of he destroyed the Earth, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad. It's pretty Dragon Ball-esque, but I still wanted something a bit different.
Right.
I mean, again, it's hard because, like, I don't want to sit here and make it seem like this podcast is all, the movie did it one way, so, like, I don't want to make it sound like that. But, yeah. Yeah, kind of, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of, I don't know, it's hard to, when you're rehashing a story that's already been told and it's so closely related. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although there was one thing that I did really enjoy is the fact that Gohan didn't accidentally get his wife shot, and that's how they reveal that she's having a baby. Because I'm sorry, I just was not a fan of that.
I found that funny, but in the most horrible of ways. Thank you for reminding me of that. God, that was going to be something I think we'd revisit in the uncut version. But thank you for reminding me of that now, dear God. That fucking happened. But yeah, so that didn't happen at least. At least it was a lot more fucking civil.
That's right. That's one thing I was happy about. And I did like at the end when the battle is over, Gohan going to his dad. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about not telling you properly." And he's like, "May I please have your blessing, Father?" And he just stares at him for a few minutes while he's like, got food in his mouth, and Gohan's like, "Dad, please say something, please."
Yeah, no, he's just sitting there, just like, "Listen, Gohan, I don't even know how you got made, so let's just really like." Like, sure, whatever, man. I think it was more like, "Dad, please say something. Please tell me that you aren't brain dead." And he's just like, "Pudding. Pudding is a vegetable." Oh, thank God, Dad's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. It's just it was fun. It was a great way to end it, I think. I was just more happy that it fucking ended. And but I will admit, I can't wait to watch the uncut version and talk about that with you. And also, I can't wait to talk about, Resurrection of F. I mean, I forgot that it existed, I'll admit, because you've been doing a lot of other stuff, podcast and Let's Play-wise and general life-wise.
Right,
pretty busy. But it does exist. I haven't seen it yet, and I do want to see it.
Oh, yeah. You should definitely see it.
No. I can't wait to podcast Resurrection of F with you. And, say what we want to say, and then talk about the anime from a week-to-week basis, and then say it again. Say what's being done differently. Can't fucking wait.
It's kind of funny. Like, I know we had talked a little bit about it before. On one hand, I'm happy that it looks like they won't take as much time. Sorry, They won't take as much
Don't die.
time with Revival of F through, the anime.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like it's like, well, you gave all this time to Battle of Gods, and now you're shortchanging Revival of F, and that was
I know.
a good one too. That seems kind of weird, but it's like, in a way, I'm like, you know what? Whatever, it's fine.
Just go. Just take the
go.
shot.
We've waited long enough. let's just go.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I really am excited to see where they go with the series. That's what I'm really waiting for.
Well, what's good is from the looks of it, we're going to do our podcasts in two different waves right now. We're going to do them in a wave that's going to be pre-Revival of F, because there is actually a gap. I think we talked about this, you and I, on the phone before this show. We talked about the idea that there actually is a gap. So we're actually going to talk about that gap, in a couple of episodes, for one podcast, right? Just a couple of episodes. And then we're going to play, completely caught up. And we're going to do whatever episode it is. I believe it's 19 or 20, up until 24. And then, as far as, what we can watch, that's caught up. More episodes have aired, but as far as what we can watch, that's caught up for us.
Right.
And then we play the waiting game.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so right now I think Japan is going to be on 27 once January 17th comes, right? Right now for us, in real time, it's January 13th, 2016. Bleh, 2016. That's just what it is. That's what we're going to do. And, of course, before we jump back to Super, we are going to talk about, Battle of Gods Uncut and Resurrection of F Uncut. We will jump to Uncut immediately. I don't think there's a need to go theatrical and uncut, because I don't think – you saw it in theaters, right?
Yes,
you saw it in theaters? I was unable to. So because of that, it's just, why do uncut, and why do theatrical? If we would do theatrical, we would have done it back then.
Right. That's actually funny, because if I remember correctly, for Battle of Gods, you were the one who got to see it in theaters, and I missed that one.
Damn. But you did somehow see it, though. I know that you somehow were able to see it in theatrical cut, because we talked about it.
Right.
On the podcast. So I know you were knowledgeable of it. You didn't come off as as if you haven't seen it. So unless you were lying to me and the fans.
Or
I'm pretty sure you saw it.
I could have forgotten too. I'm not sure.
No. I'm pretty sure you saw the Japanese version somehow. If you didn't see the dub,
maybe.
If you didn't. But yeah. Anyway, so we're at the end of our show. Right? We're very early somehow. I mean, I know we've been doing Star Wars stuff recently, and that's been taking a lot of our podcast time up. Literally, in an hour, an hour and a half show, we'll talk for the full hour and a half. But I just think, there's not much to really say about these Super episodes other than, did we like them? Some of them. Did we not like them? Some of them.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm more hopeful as to where we're going in the future. Once things start to pick up with, newer episodes, or maybe at least stuff that we haven't seen before, like you said, the gaps in between, I think those will be a little bit more lively. Yes.
I'm actually very interested in seeing this 16 to, I believe, no, not 16, 15, I believe it's episode 19, or 20, that gap. I'm really interested to see where that's going. I might even watch them after we're done with the show. Some of them, because I really want to see where it's going, and I'm very interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know what? We'd like to thank you all for listening in. Before we end everything, as always, I want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that we, have going on. I mean, we have our merchandise. We have cafepress.com/TGOTR merchandise, where you can buy, all of our T-shirts and stuff like that. We also have, our main website, thoseguysontherradio.tumblr.com, our Facebook /thoseguysontherradio, our Twitter @thoseguysradio, and our Instagram /thoseguysontherradio, where you can actually see all of our podcasts. And we have a lot of podcasts. Also, by the way, on iTunes as well. You can find us on there by searching up Those Guys on the Radio. And, yeah, we have a lot of podcasts. I mean, you and I, Tristan, we've done Dragon Ball Z podcasts. We've done Dragon Ball Z movies, Dragon Ball Z OVAs. We've also done Bleach movies and Bleach OVAs, and Dragon Ball OVAs, as well as, of course, Dragon Ball Super. right? So, we've done a lot of different stuff, not just you and I, but as well as myself and Sudesh Ram. We've also done, WWE shows, Steven Universe and Gravity Falls, and a heck of a lot more. And again, you can find those on our website and social media pages, as well as through iTunes and on YouTube as well. You search up Those Guys on the Radio, you'll find our podcast YouTube page. You can subscribe to get some of our podcasts on there. And, I'm constantly updating that with more and more podcasts. So it's a lot of fun. Right. Also, we have our Let's Play page where you and I have played a whole bunch of stuff. Right. We've recorded some Star Wars Battlefront. You and I also have done our Those Guys Play Season 1. Right. We have Season 2 coming up in February. But we've done Season 1 where you and I have played Star Wars Battlefront on that show. We've also played Luigi's Mansion, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, and a fucking game called Pets Crazy Monkeys. We've done a lot, Tristan. Yeah. I know. We've done a lot, and we have some more coming up as well. So, again, next season, you and I. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, you can find our Let's Plays by looking up Those Guys Play, right? And, not just Tristan and I. Of course, you can see myself and some of our other podcast hosts playing things like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Kamen Rider. We've also played, we've played wrestling video games. We've played indie games such as Dreaming Mary and Whispering Willows. 007, Tomorrow Never Dies, also was on the list. And, a lot more. So, again, a lot more coming up. And it's very interesting. I'll say that much. It's very interesting, some of our Let's Plays. Either we've played some games that we love from our childhood or just completely balls to the wall crazy. Nothing in between. I don't think we play anything that we're just mild about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so, we're at the end of the show, and if there's anything you want to say before we end the show, Tristan?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for listening in through our craziness, through our technical difficulties, and I hope you enjoyed it. I would be really sad, though, if it's just, some of you guys come out of it as the most entertaining part of the show. When they messed up, that's the part I liked. Mess up more. You guys
Seeing
were
Matt
shitty
break
when you
down
weren't messing
live
up.
on internet radio, yes, that's the height of my life.
Basically, you guys were shitty when you didn't fuck up. You guys were shitty when you were stabilized. You guys sucked. Those guys suck. But yeah, no, it'll just, speaking of those guys sucking, if you want to send us love or hate mail, or if you want us to promote your product or your service on the show, email us at thoseguysonthe.radio@gmail.com. You can email us, and you can send us show ideas as well. You can say, hey, do this, series, and we might actually see some shows that we've never seen before, or you might actually, make us go, wow, wait, we did see that show. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So again, we're at the end of our show. We'd like to thank you all for listening in, and next time you hear us, we'll be a Star Wars podcast, right? You and I talking about The Phantom Menace.
Yep.
Actually, no, you might have already heard that, depending on when this is coming out, so forgo that. This is not the podcast you're looking for. Damn it, they can't see my hand waving. My hand waved. Forget. And, so the next podcast you might hear might actually also be it might be a Star Wars one. It won't be The Phantom Menace, but it might be a different Star Wars one. At least with you and I. But, yeah, so again, thank you all for listening in, and you have a good night. So say good night, Tristan.
Have a good night, everyone.